And good afternoon. Welcome to Topeka Gage Center. And this is the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. I am Ryan Ragland with today's broadcast. And give it a second. It'll take a little bit. And don't forget, tomorrow is at Emporia. And that will be at Flint Hill Lanes with Mark Martin and his staff down there. So we're ready to get that going. But first, we have the finals here at Topeka for Gage Center. And the top five, and the scores were they were moderate. We'll say they were moderate early, and then toward the end, the cream of the crop came up, which is no surprise. Tony Monta Jr. ended up with a 266 over to qualify fifth. In fact, let's do this here. Let's see if I can get this to work right. Boom, boom, and there we go. Push that through. See if that works. There we go. Hey, it worked. There's your step ladder for the top five. Tony Monta Jr. at 266 over. He will take on Sam Ziblin Jr., and I'm not sure. There he goes. Back on. Oh, it's going to flash back and forth. I got to fix that. Anyway. And he will be taking on Sam Ziblin Jr., who was at 269. So Sam beat Tony out by 3 pins. On the qualifying at 271 was David Kuchera. And always solid. He had one hiccup, one game. I thought he gave me a glimpse of hope, but yeah, that didn't turn out. And qualifying second at 299 over was Stephen Slocum. And then Don Breeden, 320 over. And just dead solid. Had one small hiccup, but his lowest game other than this, he had lowest two games, 213, 228. So again, the guy is solid, and that's why he's one of the best in the area. So that is your top five. And see if I can get all this set back up. Boom, boom. Settlers, and get it to come across, and it should kick up here in a second. There we go. Trying to get all this fancy stuff that XSplit has going and getting all that situated. So, but that is our top five. And conditions today, they held up really, really well. Also, before I get into that, make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and the bell for the alert so that whenever we go live, you get a notification on your phone or whichever that we're live, and boom, you won't be missing anything. And real quick, huge thanks to all the sponsors, Berkey Turkeys Pro Shop at Revolutions Lanes, Face Designs for all the graphics and everything, Bullmore in the Greater Ozarks, at Osage Beach, Transport in St. Joe, Lisa Finley for Shelter Insurance, Rotagrip, Storm, 900 Global, and the title sponsor for the broadcast, McCarthy Auto Group. And I'm gonna play a little favorite, Carl Kramer. Who I have worked with before many times, wasn't sure about senior bowling because they're really big into the high school sports and supporting the stuff and everything. And we have a great reputation. And I called him up, said, hey, option, if you want to. And he goes, we'll try it. So Carl Kramer said, yep. And he is a sponsor, made it possible to keep everything going for the video broadcast. So a huge thanks to them and all the sponsors and everything they do to help keep the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour going. Back to the conditions. In fact, you got the standing sheet. The final, we'll get that. The conditions were kind of subtle. Twister pins always act a little bit different, but they were a little bit subtle. And scores were kind of moderate, but man, when they, I was able to stay 10, 11, 12 for 4.5, 5 games. About toward the end of the 5th game, they really started transitioning hard. And you can kind of see where, like, Tony Mania is at. I mean, this is what he does. But then you take a look at Sam on the right with a little bit, lower rev rate, and he's going to stay a little bit more right, and he's going to keep the ball a little bit more in line and not do anything, a whole lot of craziness with it. So this is going to be interesting. Yet two very contrasting styles. Okay. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting on how this goes. So Sam gets to choose on, hey, Sam, you want to start or finish? You're starting? Okay. So he's going to start in the left lane, and he's going to make Tony finish on the left lane. And we are ready to go here as soon as we get the change of the score here real quick. So Sam's going to be on the left side, and Tony Mana Jr. is going to be on the right. And real quick, a huge congratulations to Tony, who won a senior event in Vegas at South Point for the seniors. And I believe he had to beat, I got to look that back up. He had to, Walter Ray was one, and someone else, but yeah, Tony had a great showing for a title in Las Vegas. And Sam, for his scores, he goes 181, starts a little bit, goes 290, 24, 58, 15, 68, and 33 for his 269. And Tony goes 58, 94, 194. Then he goes 58, 36, 198, 290, 232. So, cream always comes up to the top. That's like a law or something. So make sure, like I said, you hit the like, subscribe, the alert bell. Send us a chat real quick on the live chat. Let us know where you're watching from, and if you're rooting for anyone in particular or just watching. Now, I finished on 21 and 22, and it seemed like to me and Joe Bush that 21 seemed to be a little bit tighter. And I struggled. Well, Joe Bush didn't. He finished like 260 last game. I struggled with my hand stuff to get it to come back around consistent. It seemed like the right lane was hooking a little bit more, but not sure about that. So the other finishers finishing the top 12, Daryl Drissler was the high super senior. He finished at 256. Joe Bush finished 7th at 216. At 207 was Brian Manini. Joe Crocker was 190 over. Ed Reese was 183. Tim Gromlovitz, last month's winner, was 182. And I'm just going to say Yuri because I can't pronounce Yuri's last name. I won't try because I don't want to be embarrassed. That's kind of strange. He's like from the Lincoln area but lives in Lawrence. There's got to be a conflict of interest in there someplace. Yuri finished 12th at 181 over, so. Actually, trying to think. And I've already told Sam. I told Sam he was going to buy Bobos, but see, when I went to Revolution Lanes to go practice a little bit and have some stuff drilled, he bought lunch. The problem is I'm going to come out of the short end of the stick on this one because he's probably going to get a triple from Bobo's. And yeah, I'm going to lose that end of that bet, but Bobo's is so good. In fact, we need to call Bobo's and have them be a sponsor when we come here, just for the one stop. That would. But let's get a. Hey, Brandon, you want to come over here? We need to get Lisa over here too, at some point. Have a seat. You gonna talk? Get over here. You're sponsoring, girl. Get over here. You're not gonna bail on me twice. You going to Bobo's with us? Lisa Finley, one of the sponsors. Get over here. You going to Bobo's with us?
Yeah.
Do you know what Bobo's is?
No.
Oh, good. I love surprises like that. Watching from Salisbury, North Carolina, David Barber and Ellen Stout. Hi, guys, watching from Graham, North Carolina. Got a question I have. An AMF Sumo and roll on the 42-foot pattern, polished or dull. 42 foot depends on the amount of oil, number one. You can go 42 feet, so you know you're probably going to be looking about 10, 11, 12 of your break point. You got to know the volume. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, you're talking about for that. Okay. And plus not knowing how you roll the ball.
Yeah, there's quite a few variables there, but
Go ahead.
But if I was to guess, I would say you probably need something polished to get through it and store up some energy.
You could, depending on how you roll the ball, you can actually go both ways. You can have a little bit of surface to get the ball to shape up. If you're changing lane, if you're not going to be changing lanes, I would go with maybe a little bit of surface for the first couple games or so to kind of shim the lane up a little bit, and then you go bump in a little bit with your polish.
Yeah.
If you're going lane to lane, you got to play it off the pattern. You're going to get more consistency that way. And look who shows up. David Axon.
Where are you, David?
The dude can't even make it here. The problem is we only have Dave here now when Tony's on, because he talks like this and he wants to make sure he's not too loud. So he talks quiet. He doesn't want to bug anyone when he's bowling, so he got to stay. See what I mean? Yeah. that's what David does.
If David was here, he'd have all kinds of good commentary.
Oh my God. And just the story. So
And some of it would even be appropriate.
Some might be airworthy. Real quick, David, send me a message on what Tony won in Vegas and who he beat for it. I think one of them was Walter Ray. So Alan Stout, left-handed, up the gutter, slow revs. You're still going to be playing. I would think you're going to be, if you're low revs, I think you're still going to be inside 10.
Yeah.
When you think.
Yeah.
Low revs, I think you're going to
42 foot. You're going to,
depending on the layout, if it's a higher flare layout, you're going to stay with some probably 2000 like polish.
Yeah, I would think. I'm still saying on little polish on it.
Yeah, you don't want to get too far. Still recovery mode. Well, get well, son.
Yeah.
But send me a deal on what Tony won in Vegas.
Sam had a double and then 9 spare. Tony went 9 spare and double after an open.
Let me get that to Lisa real quick and go. Lisa, get over here now. Now that the technical talk is over with Shelter Insurance, Lisa Finley, and we went ahead and we got the crowbar, and we got the two sides. We got the insurance, and we got the trucking.
Absolutely. Just happy to support the bowlers in this tour, and they're just great bowlers, and I love to provide that support for them on a monthly basis. I am located in St. Joseph, Missouri. I'm licensed in 10 different states. A lot of my customers will
10 different states?
10 different states.
That makes you busy.
Very busy.
Your frequent flyer mile's got to be out the.
Right, absolutely. A lot of frequent flyer miles.
Samuel, don't do that. But you cover everything?
I do. Auto, home, life insurance, and commercial insurance. I have 15 years of insurance experience and about 9 years of commercial. So a lot of my clients can have their commercial and their personal insurance together in one spot.
Now, if I buy life insurance from you, does that mean I live longer?
$1 million. Just get yourself $1 million in life insurance and you'll be good.
Oh, Tony got that one right. Well, he got and he rounded the corner and it didn't make it back up the first frame, and he goes flush, and then he just. I'll tell you what, that at least the right lane you can determine how hard you get it back just on how early, and that's the thing about when you start moving in, it gets really tough. Oh, we ain't done. No, we ain't done with you yet. Then we got the trucking company. I mean, we're not going to talk to him. You're a lot better looking than he is, so you can talk about the trucking company too.
FS Transport specializes in delivering for Menards located in St. Joseph, Missouri, and the 152 location in Kansas City, and also over by the Kansas Speedway in Kansas. 3 different locations, been in business for 5+ years. We do all of the personal home goods deliveries, stove refrigerators, washers, dryers, and also large building material supplies.
Do you know you can go to Menards and get Captain Crunch peanut butter cereal?
Really?
I got a hell of a deal on that. I grabbed 2 boxes. You
can pretty much buy anything at Menards. I will say that.
You give me peanut butter Captain Crunch at a good deal, I'm gonna buy a case. So you can just back up that truck
and load it up, 16
load it
foot.
Up. There you go. I'll take it, whatever it takes. Real quick, are you guys? One question, since I'm in I drive a truck too. Are you guys having the driver issues that a lot of companies are having? Or are you doing pretty good with who you have?
We have pretty good driving retention. Most of our drivers have been with us for a majority of the time since we've started. The difference in, I guess, the driver retention is really kind of the overall industry, but in essence, most of our drivers, as far as the retention, is keeping your employees happy and providing them extra benefits, whether it's time off or extra family time, and have that work-life balance. But most of the time, it's really about a family-owned business, so a little bit different perks than you have in a corporate setting.
Kind of like that woman range of thinking. If you keep her happy, she's happy. If you keep the employees happy, they'll keep everyone else happy.
Right.
See, I learned that early in life.
A happy wife is a happy life.
I've been divorced for over 20 years, but I still at least I know that part. So we'll let you get back over there with a hubby and talk around. But we wanted to get you on here and tell you a huge thanks for being on here, and we'll probably catch you on tomorrow.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Lisa.
Bye-bye.
Oh, you can leave it on. There you go.
Turn it off.
Yeah, I think she accidentally. Anyway, so Brandon Leibel's back with us, and he's going to be on the side commentary, and this thing's getting interesting. He won one of the Tony won one of the challenges that the challenge shots at Vegas, and ended up being Dino.
Yeah.
And if anyone knows Dino, he was wearing something that had a big star on it, and it was blue, silver, and white.
Dino Castello.
Do we need to call him Mr. Cowboy or something?
Mr. Dino.
Mr. Dino, yeah. Wow. And
Tony with a real good shot.
9 pins are not a stranger here. I think I blasted one on that lane, and if you pinch it high and the ball's going left, you're gonna keep it.
I think I left 3 of them today.
And David said, well, if I had a mic, I could do commentary from here, which, I guess we wanted to. We could try to zoom him in.
Remote him in.
Zoom him in, yeah. Oh, God, how interesting would that be? I mean, we can still say basically what we want since it's YouTube, but so the spare by Tony in the 8th, and this is a big shot for Sam. That'll put him up 14 if he can get a strike here. Hey, I made some money.
Holy cow. You gonna claim that on your taxes?
Hell no. I don't make enough. Hey.
Sam with a real good shot there. Give him a little bit of breathing room, but it's going to come down to whoever can finish in the 9th and 10th.
I got money for entry tomorrow.
I'm thinking dinner tonight.
Oh, I told Sam, Sam bought when, I was up at Revolutions and we were practicing bowling. I said, I'm going to come in on the short end of the stick on this because I'm pretty sure he's going to order at least a triple. That's going to take care of the whole meal. Plus, he's going to get the onion rings and shake and everything. So, still got to make him show up. But yeah, if you haven't been to Bobo's Old Fashioned Diner, it's
Looks like a diner car, doesn't it?
it is.
Yeah.
It's an Old Fashioned Diner.
I've been there, but it's been a few years.
Oh, so good. All you got to do is take a picture of diners, and it comes back and says, if you know, you know. Exactly. One thing I've got to take a look at, too. The school I used to do the high school broadcast for is in Emporia, which is where we're going to be tomorrow. And they are playing for the Class 6A state tournament against Manhattan. And so it would behoove Tony to punch out here, tied up at 14 in the fourth quarter at state. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
Gardner and Manhattan, big shot.
Oh.
Are you kidding me?
A 5-pin.
Are you
that
kidding
was,
me?
Oh, head pin.
No, that's a 5.
That's 5-pin. It's showing a head pin on the score. I was going to say.
Oh.
That was halfway over and stood back up.
Got slapped so silly it stood it back up. Steve Points had a shot where I think it was like the 4-pin or 7-pin spun on the deck and had to spin back to. It was crazy.
Well, Tony can shoot 202 if he strikes out in the 10th. Sam's 174 in the 8th with a spare in the 9th. He can show up in the 10th and
yeah, he's got to punch out just to force a mark.
force, yeah.
My Sam.
Trip 4.
Yeah, he's like, where's that one when I need it? Looks like Tony tried to move in to get away, and Tony, and I remember Tony has done this before because I end up watching guys that, when they're bowling well, when they bowl well deep inside, I try to watch, especially after it's a pair that I've been on, how they're attacking it and why.
Yeah.
And I've noticed from Tony, it's like he will play it off the pattern, but he'll play it deeper off the pattern so he stays away from all the
Everybody else.
craziness that's been developed right.
A real good shot there.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, Tony has not had the best of luck on the finals here.
Yeah.
I think he made 4 finals and might have won 2 of them last year. Some in that range. And it's always been like one ball, one missed spare, or just, something flukish. Tony's lucky I'm not on the mic after that shot.
Real good shot there.
Oh,
Finish
my
out.
goodness. We'll have to tell
202.
Tony. Yeah, we'll have to tell Tony after that. I don't know if I should show Tony that or not. To bring a little humor. Hey, Tony. Yeah, he's down there. Wait till later.
Sam's got to have a mark in the 10th.
Yeah.
Ought to be close. Real good shot.
As they say, that's a good mark. So Sam will move on, and he will be taking on
David
Kachura, the Ageless Wonder. Sam and Dave, the Ageless Wonder. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with the second match coming up here in just a few minutes. Ryan Ragland back with you at Gage Center as we're getting ready for match number 2 with David Kuchera and Sab Zimblin Sr. or Jr., excuse me. Besides call him Samuel. As David Kuchera has elected to start on the left lane. As Sam defeated Tony Mona Jr. 223 to 202 in the first match. And they're getting the scores all cleared up. I'm starting to have an OCD issue here looking at the screen.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I'm starting to have an OCD issue looking at the screen. It's the second one needs to be pulled back a little bit. The third one
needs to go out.
Needs over a pinch, and the fourth one needs to be back just a little bit. So there's no gap. I didn't know I had OCDs.
I do.
Little things I'm starting to see. So David Kuchera is going to lead off on the left lane. And you know, that line, that's about where I was game 4 when I started seeing transition. And
yeah.
I was throwing the reality check.
That's I think that's where I was too, and I think I split the first one and then had the next 8.
Yeah.
And then 10 pin in the 10th.
And granted, you know, David's axis is a little bit, you know, his degree of axis is a little bit greater. But I've got, you know, and this is what I do. I sit there, like I said before, I take a look at how guys are attacking lanes that I just got done bowling on to find out, okay, what could I do to maybe make that work? And I've got a couple I need to work on.
Oh, Sammy with a 4.9.
And it's almost like Sam may have a tick higher rev rate, have the higher rev rate in the match, which usually doesn't happen very often.
Surprising.
Yeah.
Well, for me today, it was didn't matter which ball I threw or where I threw it. It was likely to be a 10 pin.
Yeah.
Twister pins. Again, if you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Sammy.
Samuel?
Gave it a shot.
Still 14-14 in Manhattan against Gardner Edgerton and Manhattan in Class 5A. Mays and Mill Valley. Mill Valley leading 28-14 in Class 5A. In Class 4A, Bishop Miege doing what Bishop Miege does, leading 35-14. Class 3A, Holton being shut out by Andale, 28-0.
Wow.
And 2A, it is Nemaha Central over Kingman, 33-11 in the fourth.
2 schools we used to play. Nemaha Central and.
You're in that smaller class, Inman and St. Mary's. Inman leading St. Mary's.
Yeah. So we had Holton and
Andale.
Nemaha Central and.
Oh, Nemaha Central.
Yeah. As they've changed classes and we've changed classes back in Riverside.
And I'll tell you what was crazy last year, and what's interesting about the Gardner-Manhattan game, Gardner defeated Manhattan in Manhattan in the second round of the playoffs because of the alignment with the school, with the school enrollment.
Yeah.
That threw Gardner to the west side of the state for 2 years. So they defeated Manhattan last year and ended up playing Derby in Derby in the semifinal and lost to Derby, who ended up being Blue Valley Northwest defeated Derby. But anyway, what's crazy about it is now when they realigned the districts, Gardner's back on the eastern side, and now these two are meeting each other again in the playoffs. Kuchera doing what Kuchera does. I don't know if I told you this. It was kind of funny. We're in game 4 or 5. and I was like top five or something after going into four or something. And I looked on the sheet, and I think David was like 30 some ahead of me. Julius Mickle is crossing with me, and I look over and I see David throw the ball, and he goes Greek Church. And so I walk up to Julius and I go, is it bad of me to be jumping in enthusiasm and being excited deep down inside when a guy that you know and like just went Greek Church?
Yeah.
He goes, no, I get it.
It's a competitive spirit.
Yeah, I said, okay, that's cool. I was just wanting to know. What do? I proceed to walk up there. The ball slips off my thumb because I had a patch on, and I've been jacking around with it and trying to push it back on instead of changing a new one. And it slid off my thumb, goes right, hooks early. Greek Church.
Greek Church.
Thank you.
Some would say karma.
Yeah. And I told, so like a game later, I told David about that. He goes, yeah, but I had two of them back to back.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, but you're still kicking my ass though. So.
Was that before or after your tumble?
Which one?
You did it more
than I had two.
Oh.
It was after the first one.
But before the second one.
Before the second one, yeah. I have no idea what it was. Just dead stopped. Yep, Sam's hooking the lane a little bit more.
Oh,
Folds
yeah.
off to 710. What power by Sam. I'm excited for Bobo's. You have no idea.
I got a feeling all the rest of the matches could be
Interesting.
close, and
Well,
who makes the least
okay.
amount of mistakes.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I'm going to give the edge to Don Breeden. Reason being,
He's in first.
no. Well, but here's the reason. The guy can throw anything, pitch it up outside 5. He can sit there and turn his hand back and get that access where he needs it to get the ball to push through and finish. Majority of the time.
Yeah.
And no one else is going to be out that far. Now, when I watch him practice, yeah, he just gets about 3 or 4 side revolutions. The ball starts tipping and it sets up. So, we'll have to see. Make sure you drop us a comment. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and the alert bell. And that way, when we go on live, you will get a notification. And on the left, make sure you take a look at all the sponsors on the banners, as they are greatly what makes it possible to keep doing this. Because, as they say, son, this ain't cheap. Oh, Samuel. That's 2 of them. And you pretty much know David Couture is not going to make many mistakes.
Not going to give up the pocket very
No.
often.
And he backdoors the 7. But I wish he wasn't throwing a black ball, because I would like to see, basically, I would like to see the roll.
I'm going to guess that it's a IQ Nano. If I was guessing.
Yeah, it's not shiny enough to be the dark code.
Oh, mercy me.
Twister.
Stone 8-pin.
Twister. We hate twisters. So on the spare, the other thing I thought was kind of interesting, it's amazing kind of conversations you get into when you're bowling. I was talking to Joe Bush, and they have the TCU Iowa State game on, and they're playing in Fort Worth. And I thought it was kind of interesting that they have TCU giving only 9.5 points to Iowa State. And me and Joe Bush were kind of talking about it, and I said, yeah, I said, but then again, they're the ones that against Tennessee last night had
Sam with the trip 4.
Had KU getting 1.5 points.
Yeah.
It's that old saying. Obviously, they know something we don't.
They're not usually too far off.
That's some crazy stuff when you think about it. Yeah, Sam needs to get a double here to.
He needs a double to get back in it. Yep.
That's still getting him 24 down, but he needs to put a string together. Got it just a pinch too high, and the ball couldn't recover to push through. And I wonder if Sam might be in a little bit of a spot where he can't quite get far enough. It'll check too early. And then if he tries to get back inside it just a hair bit, it's not going to recover. You got that one.
Ryan, you were talking about the sponsors there earlier, and from a bowler standpoint, we couldn't be more thankful. Thank you, Joey. They sure make it a lot easier for everybody, and we should all support all of them that we can.
Oh yeah, that dead flush.
David with a real good shot.
Yeah, it's, you talk like Storm, Rotogrip, and 900 Global. They're giving away a ball every tournament.
Every tournament.
That's and then the money from the raffle from that is going into the prize fund.
Yeah.
So, that helps. And then, it's not, if you think about it, where Verdant is in St. Joe, trying to do all that traveling, that's hard to do on that short budget.
Yeah.
And plus, a lot of the money that comes in from the sponsors goes into the prize fund anyway.
Yep.
So. Yeah, that left lane looks like
left lane just tough for everybody.
It might be a pinch tougher. That's what me and Joe kind of thought on the last game of qualifying, and it was pretty evident right there with Dave, where he got it inside second air a little bit, but just couldn't quite get it to feet up.
Yeah, it's all for me today. It was just a little bit of the right angle and definitely speed. It was a very speed-sensitive shot.
Yeah.
So Dave's on the night road.
Oh, the night road. Okay. Hadn't seen too much of that one yet. I had the high road, and I tried that a couple different layouts, and it didn't like me. Oh, Sam trips out the 8. Can we say that? Can we say he tripped out the 8?
You can say it because that's what happened, but.
Yeah, Sam has to have this one.
Yeah. Down 24 in the 6th. David on a spare and Sam on a strike, so he's going to have a chance. He needs to get back in the
Who's going to be
here.
the first to double?
Yeah. Some of those games are first one doubles wins.
Fed that one out a little bit more. And he got
Sam's
that one to kick
the first
out.
one to double. First one to double.
Actually, first one to strike on that lane for both of them.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that left lane was definitely tighter down lane. It was, kind of reverse. You had to fight the heads. It was kind of like what you're saying, speed sensitive. You had to get it fast enough to get through the fronts, but you had to keep it slow enough so it'd still recover on the back end.
Yeah, you know how many times you bold and say, I got a good lane and a bad lane, and they both have it.
Well, he really netted that one. He's a lot further right on that lane than he is the left lane.
Advantage of Dave because he gets to finish on that lane. But Sam is the only one that has struck on the left lane. So.
Yeah. It could get interesting for sure. I got a feeling he's going to keep this one in the pocket and stay safe. If it carries,
I would think if he can
if it
stay
carries,
clean
then
here.
if it carries, then he's going to be happy with it.
Well, obviously Sam's still got to have strikes.
Yeah.
In a little bit.
Hey, a little bit of loft
And
there.
it
Try to
carried.
get it to snap out. Had to give it a little bit of a helping hand.
Sam 8th frame and Dave's 9th frame. First time they both struck on the left lane.
So 216 to 230 possibility if they both strike out.
Yeah.
Got it right.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Looked like he kind of stuck and pitched
Yeah.
it right. Came high.
I would like to, a lot of these tournaments, I would like to see like a pre-tournament schematic of the lane
Uh-huh.
and then see what it's like afterwards.
Topography.
Yeah, that's always
Hang on,
interesting to
Sam.
find out kind of how how the oil's been transitioned and moved and where everybody's been.
Sam has got to strike out in the 10th to have a chance. Real good shot there.
Let's see, no update on Gardner and Manhattan in the 6A. 28-14 Mill Valley over Mays. That's a final in Class 5A. Miege, another state title, 35-14 over Wamego. 28-0 Andale over Holton, state title. 33-17 still in progress with Nemaha and Kingman. St. Mary's down by 3 on Inman, 41-3.
Got it right.
At fast 8.
Well, Dave's got to have a count. Sam spare shoot 185. Dave's got 140 in the 7th with a double, so.
Look at him hook that ball. So just a clean 10th. Doesn't even need a clean 10th, just needs count.
Yeah. Eight counted do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, that one checked up.
6 count, but
I bet he's glad that it checked up there.
yeah, because no split.
No, that. I'm not sure if he got that one right, but that bad boy took a hustle as soon as it saw the friction. Now he's really glad.
Yeah.
So David Couture comes up with a 194-185 win. And coming up next will be Steven Slocum. And we'll be back with that match here in a couple minutes. Ryan Ragland back with you at Gage Center in Topeka, Kansas, the semifinal match with Steve Slocum and David Couture. As Steve's qualified too.
Arrows aren't right, buddy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. As Steven Slocum qualified second. David Kuchera qualified third. Just finished with Sam Zeblin Jr. 194 to 185. And Steve just, I think he's throwing a Zen. As taking a look at the scores for Steven.
Yeah, 299, second game.
He goes 216, 299, 214, 213. He slacked off a bit and was okay. I'll wake
Yeah,
up.
and then went
78,
278,
79.
279.
So if he let's figure this up. If he shoots over 220 or if he shoots over 216, he goes 99, 79, 78.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, he goes 16, 14, 13, 200. Make up your freaking mind, okay? Come on.
Write me down for those scores tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
Good night. Yeah, I ain't gonna bitch. Well, I was sitting there looking. I'm going. He goes. He was 250 over,
For 3 games.
or no,
Yeah.
6. It was like 250 or whatever.
And 20.
Or yeah, he was
For
300. 300. Yeah, he goes 300 over for 6. I'm like, dude's going 250 a game. What the hell? Then I look at his sheet and it's got 16, 99, 14, 13. The wondrous game of bowling. It's amazing how that happens.
Craig, your chicken tenders are done. Craig.
We don't want chicken tenders. We want Bobos.
Yeah, you think Bobo's will give us a discount or something since we're giving the
They ought to.
plenty of love on the air here?
Nice pure shot by Kuchera. I ought to pay us something for that. And then Emporia for the food. They have a pretty good Mexican place. They got a Spangles here, so you can't do that. I don't know.
Looking at David's score sheet, he was real consistent
Oh,
all day long.
Outside that
with the-
171.
with a $171 game 5. And I bet you he wasn't out of the door very many times in that
No.
game. Just
The 171, he had the 2 Greek churches back to back.
Oh,
That's the
that's-
one I was talking about,
yeah.
yeah. I was like, all right, well. I've got to think that Steven's throwing the original Zen, and that's
OG.
I got to get me one of those. I had one and loved it, and for some reason we had to do some work on it because it got a gouge, and they resurfaced the whole ball,
Wasn't the same.
and I couldn't get anything close to it. I know you weren't going to get back to it, but I couldn't even get close to
Yeah.
it. And that ball is so good.
It's one ball that I have not owned. Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Don't
have-
walk, run,
go get one.
get one.
I've got
It's-
the Zen Master,
yeah.
which has been okay for me.
Actually,
and
I
the Zen
would-
Soul, which I really
I
like.
got the Columbia 300 Speed. I like it. I was surprised by how good it is. And I would actually, I have a Zen Master, a Phase 2 that I'm not going to re-drill it because the ball's too good. Someone's going to use it with the layout it has. That and a nuclear cell. I would take those 3 and trade it for a Zen. I could probably sell those 3 enough for a Zen.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to wonder if there's a pro shop I know that would swing a deal.
Berkey Turkey's Pro Shop.
Never know. Well, I made let's just say I made them a deal they could not pass up,
Dan McCook here.
and that's how I got the reality check. So
Dan McCook and Ryan Burks.
yeah, pretty good guys.
Yeah.
Dan put a little bit higher pin and mass bias layout than I'm used to, and I'm not going to argue. Do what now?
Messages.
Oh. Don't have anything else
Nobody wants
since,
to talk to you.
yeah, there's a shocker. But yeah, drop us a line on the live chat. Let us know where you're at, and make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and the alert bell, so that way when we come up with a new tournament broadcast, you'll get an alert on that. I kind of like this having the banners on the left now. I'm gonna have to.
Dave has a 7 spare and a 3-bagger. Steven has the first 3.
You
First
can
4.
tell why he went 79, 78,
Yeah.
99, just with that roll, because he's playing it so far inside that Zen being an early rolling ball, it just uses it up, and he's got a lot of forward roll on it.
Lots of energy left at the end.
And it's not a sideways energy either.
What's that?
It's not a sideways energy. It's,
Straight back.
and I promise not tomorrow, but next month I will have an extra set of headsets so that we can hear. Make it a lot easier. Plus, I'm going to try to add some music onto it.
So when David's here and whispering in your ear,
He'll be able to hear. You won't have to worry about it. So the front 5 for Stephen Slocum.
they have all been 10 straight back.
Yeah, they've been pretty stout. In fact, I think, in my mind, I think the Zen is the ball that really put 900 Global, said,
Open the
hey,
door
people,
for 'em, yeah.
we've got some good stuff. Now, me personally, I'll take the X. If I can find, I actually have another X at the house in the box waiting to be drilled. So that one's not
Ready
happening.
and waiting.
It's in the bullpen when I need it. But, and they've had a lot of good stuff. A lot of stuff that I still have. But I think the Zen was probably the ball that a lot of the guys on tour were using. And a lot of people were like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. And
Breeden's going to wear himself out down there.
he's been sitting down for
warming
a
up
little bit. But, yeah, he's taking his time. Kuchera gives a little bit of room on that one. He opened up his angle from the last couple to try to get a recover, and it still didn't happen.
Back-to-back Tim Tens.
Oh!
Story of my day.
Manhattan defeats Gardner Edgerton 21-20 in the Class 6A state finals. Oh. I tell you how heartbreaking that is. I mean, state final losing by 1. That's heartbreaking to begin with. Wonder if they went for 2 or something. But I'll tell you what. The last time, they went into overtime, and evidently
into overtime.
Gardner went for 2, and they didn't get it. That's
Went for the win and didn't get it.
If everyone's down with it, who are you to say against it? And plus going in double overtime. But the kicker is, how would you rather lose a state title in double overtime and missing on a 2-point conversion, or in 2009, Gardner played Hutch, and Hutch had like 13 Division I players on the team.
Yeah.
And Coach Streiling, who's a legend in Kansas football, was the head coach of that team, and beat Gardner like 55-14 or something like that. So neither one is good, but a hell of a season by Gardner and Manhattan.
I'm curious to wonder, was there a timeout, team talk, and flushed it? Good miss.
I'm crossing myself after that one.
Yeah,
Wow.
talking about that game, if there was a double overtime, you take a timeout and ask your seniors,
What do you want?
what do you want?
Yeah.
Do you want it? You
And
want?
and you know what? I'm all for
do you want?
that.
Do you want? I am too. I am too. And I don't know that happened, but
No. In fact,
give your team a chance to win right now, or do you want to continue on?
I still have the Blazer Broadcast Network Facebook page, and there's used to have a coach's show, Couture, deep in the pocket,
Real good shot
and
there.
we did a coach's show and everything, and I'm kind of to the point where I almost want to go to the coach and do an interview with him
Yeah.
and just talk about the game and stuff. Obviously, I couldn't be there with that, but there still needs to be, maybe I can do something to have like a coaches deal or something. But
I have good friends, Tyler Miller back in Wathena, Kansas, with MCON Underground Utilities. They have an offshore powerboat racing team, and
that would be pretty bad.
they do a little set down every once in a while with the drivers,
Yeah.
and just kind of talk about things that are
Yeah.
within the race world, and it's always interesting if you're into that, and something like that with just even coaches and a commentator sitting down and talking.
Yeah. And I'm not going to get into the politics and everything, but you have a season like that, you need to be able to talk about it and reflect and the crowd. Oh, that one went up. He got that out quick. Looks like he's playing that one a little bit further right.
Yeah.
But the coach would want to have a chance to say thanks to everyone that traveled and went there, and some kind of platform there. So after the front seven, a solid 4-pin by Slocum. I'm actually amazed when I'm watching tournaments and stuff, how many guys actually hook the ball at spares still. About the only pin that I will consistently probably not grab my spare ball for is the 3 or 9. Other than that, I've got my spare ball.
Pretty
I'm using
straight at it.
Yeah.
It 100% is dependent on the pattern that I'm playing on. If I'm out
that has a lot to do with it too.
USBC Masters, it's going to be straight at it.
Yeah.
Conditions like today, I'll hook cross lane. Steven with another strike, so he's well in command of this. David does have 138 in the 6 with the double, but he's got to keep going with them. Oh, David with a real nice shot for, you guessed it.
I came walking back. I was telling Steve Points, I felt like I needed something to, keep me in the cut for, make some money. And Breeden over there just got done stoning an 8-pin. And I said, that one felt, I told him, I said, I threw that ball so well, I felt like I got violated.
I had a few of those today, like several.
Those twister pins, man, they will come back and just,
Dave needs to strike out here in the 10th for 237 possibility. And Steven can shoot 279 if he strikes out. So,
yep. I didn't know if he was going to make it up or not.
I brought up MCon Tyler Miller. They just happened to win national and world championships in their offshore racing
Oh,
circuit
my.
this year. So
That doesn't
kudos
suck.
to them for hashtag 66090 for Donovan County. Good stuff.
The only boat race I'd ever been to was in Wichita. And when those things wipe out,
Yeah. Are those straight line?
the straight line
yeah,
speedboats.
yeah.
When those things, get off kilter, oh, God, it's just so slow on the back end. I wasn't sure if it was going to carry or not again. But yeah, when those things wipe out, those things disintegrate, and
Yeah.
there's only two solid pieces that's left of it, and that's the motor and the cockpit.
Yeah. We go to dinner here later. I'll show you some videos of.
And Anna Slocum is watching from Liberty. I wonder who she's watching.
Wonder who she's cheering for.
Alex Slocum's in Maryville. I have no idea who they're going to. And of course, Dan has to chime in and say, "Hey guys, banners look good, all on one side." Thank you, boss.
Even though they're slightly misaligned, according to Ryan.
Yeah, that we're gonna have to fix that. I try to keep the camera close enough so you can see everything down lane, but not to where you can't see the.
Davis does strike out for 237.
So just a couple pin mark here. So the step ladder continues as no one has advanced their position any.
I don't think
And-
he'll go ditch, do you?
No. Yeah,
Though he did go
that
extremely
lane's
high.
burning out. That lane just went to another transition the last couple balls. So I got to think he's probably going to get just a little bit deeper. And his hand is soft enough getting through it that he can still get it through the fronts. So we're going to take a timeout, and it's going to be Stephen Slocum against Don Breeden, and we'll be back with that in a couple minutes. Ryan Ragland back with you in Topeka at Gage Center as this is the championship match for the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. Again, a huge thanks to all the sponsors for the tournament again, and also we're going to be in Emporia tomorrow at Flint Hill Lanes in Emporia. Mark Martin and his staff is all ready to go. And huge thanks to all the sponsors here. Storm, Rotogrip, 900 Global, Lisa Finling with Shelter Insurance, Transport, Finling Transport, also in St. Joe. Title sponsor of the tournament, Bullmore Lanes in Osage Beach. Berkey Turkeys Pro Shop at Revolution Lanes. Make sure you go see Dan McCook and Ryan Burks for everything you need there. Face Designs, Jason with everything he does. And the title sponsor for the broadcast that makes it possible for us to bring this to you, McCarthy Auto Group. Shop McCarthy.com. And yeah, great people there. Huge thanks to Carl Kramer for expanding out a little bit for as McCarthy is really huge on the high school scene throughout the Kansas City area. And, you know, whether you're in Topeka, Emporia, or, you know, St. Joe or whatever, just look them up. All the cars are sitting right there. They'll work it out with you on for you being able to see that. So huge thanks to them. My guess, Don. Ooh, I'm surprised. Well, no, that's exactly what I talked to. I talked to Stephen Slocum, and I asked him. I said, "So, how much more deeper can you get with that Zen and have it come back in?" He goes, "Probably not much more, because he moved a board and a half in from the one that he got right, and it didn't quite want to make it back.
Finish.
So, you know, we were talking. I said, probably wouldn't be surprised if you're starting the match. He goes, I wouldn't be surprised either. So that's what Don Breeden decided to do, is have Steve Slocum start the match and make him finish on the right one that's really starting to burn up, and the left lane is still tighter.
Yeah, Don bowled well all day, as usual.
28, 59, 47, 13, 58, 78, 37. That's just,
Plus 320.
That's just what he does. It's boring to watch, but it's effective. As we're getting all the scores cleared off, ready to go.
Are you coming next month to
I'll be there for both of them.
Big St. Joe, Missouri?
Yep, I'll have to.
Revolution Lanes, Brian Manini's Center.
Have to kind of debate if I was going to drive back that night and drive back up, or if I'm going to get a room. So probably, I don't know, I'll probably just end up get a room and relax.
Not that far for you, is it?
It's an hour and a half.
Is it?
It's an hour here, it's an hour to Emporia, an hour and a half, but, you know, sometimes that little getaway for the weekend, you know, is nice. See, that ball doesn't want to make it back from that move.
Looked like he was just a little deeper there than he had been. And
plus, that one's just a little bit tighter. Now, the only thing he would want to do, you know, especially with the left lane being tighter, is try to ease up on the speed and just be a little bit more relaxed to the hand, so he's not accelerating through the shot. And that was something I found out that works out at Nationals an awful lot, is just not accelerating through it and just letting the ball feed.
Well, I did that the last game. Just kind of took a little bit of the hand, got a little deeper, and took a little bit of the hand out of it, and
let the ball do what it's supposed to.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much we try to help, and it just does nothing but screw it up.
Right.
The ball would look back and, hey, dummy, just let me
do me.
Well, yes.
You do you, I'll do me.
You just stay out of the equation. Just put me out there. I'll do what I'm supposed to.
Don distracted down lane somewhere.
And Don, I believe, won the points championship last year. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Absolutely,
sure.
Yeah. I ate once or twice.
Once or twice.
Just about a 7-10 split there. Yeah, I ate once or twice or 3 times, and
You don't look it.
well, this is about the longest I've sat still in a long time. So
I had a relaxing Thursday. Kids did their Thanksgiving with their mom Thursday, and then they came over Friday and had all the grandkids. And
they're the best.
oh yeah, played some marbles. Kind of a family tradition on my mom's
Marbles?
side, playing some marbles. And my son and oldest grandson are evil on marbles. They will knock you off if they have a chance, which would make my grandpa quite proud. I told my oldest grandson, I said, your great grandpa would be very proud of you right now. So make sure, I want to remind everyone, hit the like, the subscribe, and the alert bell notification, and that way when we start a new broadcast, you'll get a notification on it. And
Joey's doing
kind of,
Jeff Bauman on your live chat there. Wish me good luck for tomorrow, and I appreciate that, Jeff. He's
oh, Brent, yeah.
back from St. Joe, so
You just won in, where was that?
I won.
Savannah.
Yep, I won Savannah. It was our Masters top 32 averages is what it starts.
Now, is that for what, the area, the
Yeah,
association?
for St. Joe
Okay.
USBC Association.
That's why they didn't ask me. I figured they would ask.
Managed to win, which was back-to-back wins for me.
No, I don't know. He's slacking. Yeah, Birkenbein, David Gachero checked in to see if you said anything, so you haven't, so you're put on notice. Yeah, I figured they would have asked me to bowl so I could donate more money in.
Well, yeah.
And they didn't, so. Now, they have a Masters coming up. Is that an open or is that a
Yeah, so
another?
this was the Masters, which was, anybody
Right.
at any age. And I happened to win second year in a row, and then we have
Nice.
Senior Masters, so 50 plus. And I
he's
won that last year as well, and so I see if I can repeat that
There you
again
go.
this year. See if I can go back to back, back
but,
to back.
But I can't bowl the
You
one coming
cannot.
up.
You cannot. You
I
do
need-
have
who-
to be in the association.
We need to have that broadcasted.
I would love for you to come do that.
We need to have that
and
broadcast.
I would love for you to come do that.
Do the qualifying, and in
Yeah.
fact, I might be able to get an AB HDMI switch
Yeah.
and cover 2 lanes here and 2 lanes on the other side, and just do some switching
Yeah.
and kind of cover. And
we would love for you to do that. The Senior Masters, I don't know how many entries we'll have this year. But especially if we get you to come do the Masters next year, that would be great.
that would be. It's always fun to. I'd have loved to have done the ladies. I heard that was a pretty good tournament.
Yeah, it was. It was.
So I'll even here, and it's almost like.
Has it been all 10 pins?
Yeah, I think so.
All 10 pins. I think that was just what you talked about. I think he tried to slow down,
Yeah, and try to give the ball time to
let the
recover.
ball.
The only move, if there's a move, the only move I would think he would do is maybe something to get the friction a little bit more. Maybe a board right with his feet, or 2-in-1 to try to keep the break point, but get it more direct with a little bit more friction on the
I
recovery.
did that once for a 4-9 and one other time and left the 4-9 but tripped the 9 out.
Whatever works. So remember when Walter Ray was throwing I think it was throwing with Mo Rich. It was like a red ball or something, and on the show they kept saying red ball up 5. I think we can almost say that with Don here.
Yeah.
He's not quite up 5.
Not quite 5, but
He's in the neighborhood.
all square.
He's up 10.
I was gonna
Say, man, if
and carried a 10.
that doesn't tell you the difference between the two lanes,
Yeah.
going up 10 where the left lane needed help to get up to the pocket, and the right lane was pushing
And get a
through.
messenger to come get the 10.
Yeah. Which means he just hit the pins light enough to have a messenger.
Yeah, it's not flush by any means, but sometimes you need those.
That's
Oh,
left. That's a hard left glide.
Yeah. And he knew as soon as he let go of it.
He didn't even want to look at it. He's looked down going, oh, this is not going to be good.
That's a miss, but not big enough miss. Why are you throwing your mark, Mike?
I don't know. So I need to get, let's see.
Oh. Let the baby split. Chop the 10 off of it. What are you looking for?
Well, I was looking at Slocum's. So that'd be 80.
Yeah. Again, 299, 278, 279, 3 out of the 7 games. That'll take care of any 213, 14, 16 games.
Average 285 for 3 when he shoots over 216.
Yeah. Even deeper.
Yeah.
Even deeper, but
Try to
Again.
create a little bit more
yeah,
room on it.
good shot.
Well, he was in a position after that open where he really had to just take a big swing.
Swing for the fence.
Yeah. So for the 3 games when he shoots over 216, he shot 853. When he doesn't, he shoots 4 games and shoots 843. Figure that one out.
Yeah.
Average is either 285 or 210.
Feast or famine.
What? I
That
wonder if
rolled
that
up
one
early.
might have checked up just a pinch early on him and just moved it left. And that was a shot that Don wanted. He really could have taken control. I got to admit, I was feeling pretty good about myself when I looked on how many guys, some of the guys that were behind me.
Well,
after
you know,
like three or four games, I'm like, okay, yeah, this ain't gonna last long, but I'll just enjoy it while I can.
Yeah, I mean, I finished about 120 over today, and it could have been a whole lot more, like everyone. 9 was easy to get, 10 was hard.
I don't know any other place that runs their twister pins, is there? Offhand?
I hope
many.
not. And I hear these are fairly new twister pins, which
I'm not sure.
that was up 11 with a lot of speed, and
It was
like a
it
freight
was going to
train.
go in the pocket, carry or not.
yeah. That's kind of just the opposite of what Steven's doing. Steven looks like he's playing around with slowing everything down and letting the ball react. Oh.
How many scouts have we seen today that did exactly that? I think I saw more scouts miss than hit.
I agree.
And there was Joe Bush threw 2 pocket 410s, and another guy to the left of me. You guys were crossing with him. Goes to pocket 410. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name.
Oh, Ed. Yeah. Ed Reese.
Yeah. That was a big hit right there for Steven.
Actually, I think that was Joey. I think Joey Finley had 2 pocket 410s.
Oh, did he? Well, I know Ed had one. I saw one of Joe's. I didn't see the other one. He told me he had 2.
Yeah.
And the one that I saw was just like,
What? What?
there you go.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. That was a pretty good chuck.
It was a real good shot.
Oh, and Joe goes pocket 7-9. and you already know that Joe Bush has no facial expression when he's bowling.
Yeah.
It was like
Pretty ho-hum.
it was like watching Abe Bagoda on Bernie Miller with his facial expressions going,
Stoic.
yeah. It was epic. I looked at him. I said, I want to laugh really bad, but it was not a good time to be laughing. So 2 good
Close
pitches.
match.
Yeah, 2 good pitches by Steven. And both that sixth and 7th frame really could have changed the whole complexion. He could be at 97 in the 5th working on a double. And
I
if
don't
Don
know.
would spare on this one, that would just really
Yeah.
tighten the game up.
I don't know if David is just messing with you, but he says he'll see you tomorrow.
Hey! Well, get down here, dude.
We'll let you by.
Well, I'd never not let him by. Wow.
Oh,
Whoa.
interrupted 4-9.
We need cleanup on aisle 22. Cleanup on aisle 22. Thank you. And he's playing that right lane further right, too.
Yeah. But he's increased his speed on both lanes.
Yeah. Well, have a good trip, David, getting down here. Thought he was still in recovery. Oh, online that is. Oh, okay. All right, well, take care, David. We will talk to you tomorrow, bud. A little bit of
back
swing
outside.
action there. And that's not going to recover. Now how big is that 6th and 7th frame for
Yeah.
Steven? So 50, 60, go
Yeah,
9,
that's,
go 55, 55 and 64 in the 8th. And you still be up by double digits, but man, that just if Steven does not win this match, that 6th and 7th is going to come back and get him.
didn't get it.
I think Steven's in the I have to strike mode right now.
Yeah.
I got to think he's got to be contemplating on what he's going to do. And if
I don't know how you get away with what you just did.
yeah, and if I'm him,
Yeah.
I'm going right back to what I did. I threw 2 good shots
Yeah.
out
I
early.
think he did.
Smash mouth that one. I think he might have pinched it just a bit earlier, just a hair bit. I don't know.
It looked pretty close to the same shot that was awful good last time. Didn't strike.
Now is a big mark. So 224 is the magic
go one-
number
yeah.
for Don Breeden.
You could have
216.
156, 164.
So we're looking about an 8-pin difference here.
If.
So who's going to blink first?
Yeah.
Both of
Real
those
good
finished up
shot.
nicely. That's all you can do is just throw 2 balls like that.
Yeah, I mean, they both started out with two 10 pins apiece and real good balls.
Now you got to be a little. If you're Don, you got to be a little bit nervous after seeing Steven just going pack. You know, and he's.
I'm gonna guess that he's not too nervous.
Well, no, but I mean the last two shots haven't been all that nice. He had the cleanup mess last frame over here. There's that
Again.
4-pin really fighting that right lane. It's almost like it's burning up after each ball.
He tripped it last time, right? Oh, he had the messenger.
Yeah. No, he had the 4 pins standing on the deck on 22 last time. So the spare here makes it 214.
A spare.
So he's now down 2. So whatever he does, Steven Slocum has to do 2 pins better.
Uh, 214, 216 possibility.
Yep. I gotta think this one's going to be high and tight.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know because he swung it last time and goes
Yeah, he
leaves
was
the
about 9 last
2-7.
time. About 8
He
that
firmed it
time.
up.
Flush.
Yeah, he just firmed it up and went right just a pinch with his feet. And Don's one of the few guys that can make that minutia move and just do exactly what you're wanting to with it.
I would say that this is about as firm a speed as I see him usually throw.
Yeah.
Usually not quite as speedy, but needs one here.
Yeah, he firmed that one up. I wonder if
That
he
was
pulled
back
it.
in. That was
He didn't get that one right like he did the
No,
one
it was-
before.
and started as soon as it hit the lane. It looked like.
So it looked like the 6th and 7th frame for Steven was going to be the possible downfall. He comes back and pures the 8th and 9th. And Don Breeden just kind of struggles a little bit and can't quite get it to finish.
.202.
So just a mark. See if we can get the best mark there is. And then it's off to Bobo's.
Got to have a strike, doesn't he?
I don't think so.
Oh, and a 4-pin.
So yes, he did. My bad. Best he can do is 95, and that's going to get the game to Breeden. Breeden.
Don is your winner.
Wow, I misread that. I was thinking all they needed to do
Yeah,
was
he-
get a mark, and he needed the first one, the 10th. Wow, what a match.
Don won.
So Steven Slocum is going to finish in second. Don Breeden. So everyone stayed in their positions during the match play. And I'll tell you what, this pair was not, well, let's see, take a look at let me see the sheet real quick. The highest score, 23 by Sam, 37 by Kuchera. Yeah, only a couple upper 230s.
Yeah, Steve shot 259 last game.
And that's going to be the final shot, 202 to 195. We'll get you two guys up here. Holy moly! And I'd made the comment that I had finished on this pair and that the left lane was a little bit tighter, and I kind of wondered when Tony Mana threw the first ball and he goes at 210 and didn't quite get it looped around. But then after that, man, you could see that right lane, and especially for you, man, it was almost like the transition was really hitting hard almost after every ball.
That was probably as tight down lane as I saw it all day, other than maybe when we first started.
Left lane, you could tell with you there was a couple times you were piping up 11, and then on that 270, you tried to give room, didn't come back, but man, you purred that first one off that adjustment looked pretty good.
Well, I mean, it was kind of, compared to that lane, going over there, it was kind of hard to, I mean, you really did have to squeeze it in there. And but this one over here now, it would jump lickety split. I mean, it was like that had more grab in the mid part of the lane than any lane I bowled on the whole day.
Yeah, and that's about.
It was touchy between the two of them.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what we saw. And I talked to Steve a little bit before this match, and I asked you how much deeper you could go with that Zen to get a recovery, and you're like, not too much more.
I was about maxed out.
And I made the comment, I said about the only thing you could really do is maybe pinch more left and really slow the speed up to get it to recover. That 6th and 7th frame, those were two shots that I really thought was going to come back and get you end up doing.
Seventh was a good ball too, just a little weak 10, but yeah, I was as deep as I could get, and I had to be perfect to get a strike. So.
And you come back and you pure the 8th and 9th, and I got to be thinking, the kind of the angles you were still trying to find it a little bit, and then all of a sudden he comes back and pures 8th and 9th. You got to be going, I really got to be good with these.
Well, I mean, obviously you want to try to make it as difficult as possible, and you get two, the other person's got to match you, and that lane's just tricky. I'm telling you, it was trickiest pair I was on the whole day, and then you got to add in the twister pins too, because you can't really crowd them that much. If you do, then you get the 8, the 9. I mean, you might get anything.
The stat of the tournament, you probably don't know this, but I'll give you a stat of the tournament.
I know what you're going to say.
He knows exactly where I'm going with this. So if he shoots over 216, he shoots 853 for 3 games.
Jeez, I didn't
But
know that.
but here's the number. But if he shoots 216 or under, he shoots 843 for 4.
Well, I bowled really good the first 6 games. Even those 2 teens, I left a bunch of 10 pins and 9 pins. And then the last game I just lost. I just had no shot at all. But I bowled really good for 6 games. And then I bowled good in the first game of bracket.
You also have to factor in, these twister pins are real. I mean, I love twister pins. Most people hate them. But it takes away the rock'em sock'em doesn't always work. So, even when you have heavy rev players that are, really knocking them, they don't go nowhere. They go where they're not. And one ball you'll throw it and it'll look just as flat as a tire. And then the next one, it'll almost throw them past the sweep. You just never know what you're going to get.
I think I saw a record amount of 410s in the pocket left today.
Don't surprise me at all. These don't really bother me much because I've learned to bowl on them over time because they've had them around for 20 years or more. And I used to bowl quite a bit on magnesium pins. And they're even harder than these because they're single voided. Yeah, well, they're really interesting. I mean, you have to pick up spares, and if you pinch them off a little bit, more than likely you will leave a split. I mean, there's no knocking it out. Single voided, low, and these are lower voided too. They're down some, but you have to learn to play them a certain way. And really, a big jump on the back end is not really even like this match here. And bowling all day long. This gentleman here, he was moving it, but it wasn't like it was moving 2 feet on the end. It was a nice tight arc in there, and you can do that. You can do that when you've got a heavy hand, but you can't. It's better not to cover too much room. You got to squeeze it up on the oil line and kind of let it just lay there.
Trying to find that happy medium is not the easiest thing. But again, I crossed with Joe Bush. It has a lot of end over end, and you're kind of that same way. Have that end over end, and that really helped you a lot.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Like I said, it just doesn't overreact on the back. It's just sort of a smooth transition, which obviously helped today.
And I didn't use anything. On these, I usually hardly.
Do you ever use anything that's any older than or younger than 5 years?
Well, I mean, I do. I have some, and it's just the idea. Most times, I don't find enough in the front for me to be able to throw those balls, so I go to the other ones. But that ball I was throwing today is not too old, and it's got a good cover and a good core, and they're still using it now. I mean, they just brought another ball out with the same core in it with a different cover on it. So,
Well, Don Breeden with the championship, Steve Slocum with second place, and we'll see you guys in Emporia tomorrow.
we'll be.
All right. So Emporia tomorrow. Congratulations to those guys. Great match. Interesting pairs tonight. And once again, a huge thanks to all the sponsors, Berkey Turkeys, McCarthy Auto Group for the broadcast sponsorship, Jason with Face Designs, the title sponsor for the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour, Bullmore Lanes, Lisa Finley with insurance, also 900 Global, Rotogrip, and Storm. So we're going Bobo's bound, right?
Yes. And one other thing. Go K-State.
Hey, I just want a good game. I wish KU had the quarterback. That would have been really interesting. But hey, it is what it is. So thanks for joining us once again. Congratulations to Don Breeden with the win, and that's going to do it for us. Thanks for Dan for allowing me to do this, and we will see you guys tomorrow in Emporia, Flint Hill Lanes, for the Northwest Missouri Senior Bowlers Tour. Have a great night.